Going live back here again. I've come on to just note something, report something that I've been posting about on conservativenewssite.com for some time, um, mainly about security. This is an appropriate place to be. Security is important for shopping centre managers and operational groups. I've spoken to some high level sources before about this type of setup, this type of retail district or destination. And they told me that security is like their main effort in managing a shopping center. So they look at all aspects of that type of work. It's about our safety, human safety, as well as the human endeavor of trying to steal stuff, trying to abduct people, occupying retail units. I've witnessed at least two of those types of events when people have tried to occupy a retail unit for different reasons, not usually criminal. That's why they're really concerned about it. So security is a really big industry in terms of shopping. You can imagine the number of shopping centers there are around the world and stuff. The police also have an interest in security. They aren't in security, but they know about that type of work. They know a lot about the industry, and they have to work sometimes in that realm to achieve their own aims. So they may be following somebody, and they try to hide in a large shopping centre. Think of the Bullring, Westgate, those types of places. In Reading, they have a shopping centre called the Oracle. So some people will try to even work in a shopping centre because they can come under a different type of protocol. I won't bring out all the terms now because that is too academic and too boring for a live stream, especially on Saturday evening. But being in a shopping centre, it reminds me of some of the conversations I've had about policing and about how it's important for officers to stick to the rules so that they can do their job. But security is really subordinate to policing, I think, in a lot of ways. It sits within that framework. Policing has to cover the United Kingdom. It has to be accountable to the government. It also needs to be funded by the public. And I think security is almost like a niche effort or endeavor in that whole framework, in that network of offices, in the infrastructure of the types of tools they need, the facilities they have to use, the settings that they've got to update and keep in operation. It's a part of that, isn't it? It's a microcosm of the ecosystem of policing. And that's what I bear in mind. I mean, some people may ask me, well, what is it you think about when you visit London, when you're working in London in important buildings there? Well, sometimes I'm thinking about the security measures. I'm thinking about the people that use those buildings regularly, what they have to know, how they have to be trained, and how they have to learn to use a building in the first place. But I also relate it to something far larger, such as the police. The police officers have to appear to MPs. They've got to be legally accountable. They've got to be responsible to local bodies, public institutions, local government. There's a lot of activity around policing. That's part of the reason for CNS-TV is that I want to begin to cover what they do and how all those conversations go, how the issues are handled as well. But shopping centres do come up. I was in one meeting where there were questions put by a local authority member about an incident in a shopping centre in their area. And it was interesting to hear their exchanges. What they had to say and talk about covered a lot of the research that I'd been doing into the same subject. So my theoretical head knowledge and learning hit reality in a meeting between a local authority member, assembly member, and two police officers. So they weren't necessarily yet high up, awarded and labelled in national policing, but they had to, even as ordinary police officers, they had to talk about their job in the context of these complex arrangements around security. So this is just one example of unseen work, work that goes into human safety and security. This is just one example of its use. But visit a shopping centre, think about how it has to be handled, the random human activity, happening in all directions, all types of people, loads of different purposes and uses for the reason why people are coming into a shopping centre, or the uses and purposes they've got for what they're buying. There's a lot in it. It's a huge industry, but it is still in its box, and that box is within the context of policing.